I just want to make sure that you understand that what I'm about to teach you about men is stuff that I've learned for all of my life, but it wasn't until I went to graduate school and started to study men at an academic level and then counseling them in couples therapy. Oh man, they would tell me things. It was such a big shock to me so many times. You know, what I'm sharing with you is all the things that they're not telling their wives. You know, it's basically what men won't say that Dr. Debi will. Hello, I'm Dr. Debi, and I've been helping men, women, and couples grow together for more than 25 years. Now it's your turn to learn what I learned and taught as a couples counselor and university professor. You are the wise woman, and this is your personal development podcast packed with instant encouragement and practical tips. And men can learn about women too, because this is a safe place where women are valued and men are respected. We talk about biology, socialization, behavior, emotions, communication, and connection, because men and women are different. Always have been, always will be, and that's a very good thing. So you're getting the inside take on what men are thinking, feeling, and why they do the things that they do. What you do with this information is totally up to you. To become a truly wise woman, you're going to have to take the knowledge and apply it to life. You know, wisdom is not strictly knowledge. It's the knowing when and how and where to apply what you know. And that takes practice, some insight into why men are doing the things that they do. Every man has a secret. And that is that he's unsure of himself. You know, there really are two kinds of men, though. You know, those that are unsure of themselves and those that try to hide the fact that they're unsure of themselves. I think most men fall into that second category. I mean, nobody wants to come across as someone who has no clue what he's doing, right? But the problem is that the upbringing that men go through, the way that they are socialized and grow into men, actually gives them a very restricted range of response. When a man feels unsure of himself and he does not have the freedom to talk to anyone about his uncertainty, he will often choose one of two strategies to cope with that unsettling feeling that he has, that he doesn't have what it takes, that he's totally inadequate for the task at hand, whether that be work, sports, or mostly relationships. But those two strategies are very defensive strategies, and we misunderstand those a lot. You know, the first one is to avoid, to shut down and withdraw from the situation that's bringing up all of his insecurity about how unsure he is of himself. The other strategy is to get angry. And that doesn't really help at all either. You know, when someone's lashing out in defensive anger, it doesn't really help the relationship at all. Let me give you an example. We were at a dance one time, several years ago, and I had invited a couple that I knew to meet us at the dance. We were waltzing around and having a wonderful time. I love to waltz with Fred. It's the most divine thing on earth, in my opinion. But we're waltzing, and he looks over and he sees my friends, and he says, that guy needs to dance with his wife. And my response was, oh, he's just unsure of himself. And I was surprised by Fred's response. He actually said, every guy is. You know me, I put that in my hopper and thought about it, and have continued to think about it since he said that to me. I've learned so much from him. But I told him, my response was, well, let's dance around over by where they are, and I'll say something to them. And Fred said, please don't. And I also put that in my hopper, in my brain bank, to process and think about why he said what he did. Well, if I would have said something to this man about not dancing with his wife, when I already knew he wasn't sure of himself, I would have actually shamed him in front of his wife and in front of Fred. And he already felt a certain degree of shame because he didn't know how to waltz. Okay? So we don't want to heap more shame on top of a guy who already feels unsure of himself. We need to recognize that he does. So we're going to talk about more things that you can do besides just avoiding the shaming tendency that we have sometimes. And for me, it was teasing, but I didn't realize that my teasing would have been very shaming to him. So we're going to talk about strategies. We're going to talk about ways that you can help a man with his uncertainty. But just know that the man you love has a secret, and that is that he's secretly unsure of himself. Okay?
Thank you for listening to this episode of A Wise Woman's Guide to Men and Marriage. What did you think? Did the information raise more questions? Do you want to learn more? Head over to A Wise Woman's Guide for show notes and links to the resources mentioned in this episode at awisewomensguide.com.